Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to all of you once again to the physics classes. Dear students, we are going to discuss in today's chapter, that is motion in a straight line, which is related to the concept which is related to the competitive examination. The motion in a straight line means you will get to know. So before you are going to see this video, those who are just studying in first year or those who are completed your first year and you are studying in second year, right? You are watching the videos, and in this what we are going to study is, of course, some of you know completely that chapter, and the first years, those who are studying here, just they get to know about that chapter, right? So the formulas or the concept of it is involved, that I am going to tell you again here, and after that what I am going to tell you is, later we are going to discuss the questions, so that we are going to get the clear idea of that, how and where those questions come and how formulas we can use. Okay. So the thing is, NCERT exercise or exemplar solutions are, a lot of apps or lot of books are available in the market today. So NCERT exercise problem as well as NCERT exemplar problem solutions, if you see, means that will give you 99% of the idea, okay, or I can say 90%, and remaining 10% of the skill is that by dealing with a lot of different problems, okay. So and after that lot of reading with the lot of new topics, or I can say by reading new or previous year question papers that you have to solve, then you are going to get the clear idea. Now motion in a straight line means what we are going to study? We are going to study three topics, okay. So that is kinematics, dynamics and statics, okay. So actually we are going to study about kinematics. Kinematics means nothing but the motion of the object without considering the cause of motion. What is the cause of motion? Now one object is there, I am going to push it. Who is the cause? That pushing force is the cause. So we are not going to study about that, okay. Without considering that force, the motion of the object you are going to study, okay. Such kind of motion is, means only that formulation, such kind of motion is nothing but where you are going to study in kinematics. After the dynamics, that is nothing but motion of the object by considering the cause of motion. After that statics, that is nothing but, or static state or statics, that is nothing but object which are at rest. See, study of the object which are at rest. If the object are rest means also we have to study about that. These are the things. Later what we have discussed, these are the branches of physics where we are going to deal with the motion of the object. After that what we are going to deal? We are going to deal with the displacement, velocity, all those things. Well, the first we came to know that about path length. Path length, or we will write down it as distance. Most of the times they will ask us a distance. Okay, don't be confused with distance and path length. Path length and distance is same, or length. Okay, path length is nothing but just from one point to another point. Path length is nothing but, say for example, object is at here. So the same example I am going to give, so that I can make out why that two terms came, that path length and displacement. Why again and again we are defining different quantities, right? That is important for us. Why that displacement we are going to define? Why that path length we are going to define? Path length was not sufficient, right? But displacement we are being. Why that concept we should know. And if you go to know means, everything will be clear. So this is A, this is B, this is C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. All are 1 meter away. Now what happens? This person goes here, okay, and come back here. Path length becomes what? That is the total path traveled by the object, 1 meter and 1 meter. That becomes path length is nothing but from A to O to O to A to come from A to O, that is 2 meters. That is path length. So here object is traveling in only one direction, or that is only one straight line. Okay. So motion of the object in a straight line means how many directions are possible? There are 2 directions are possible. Which are those? One is positive direction, another one is negative direction. One is positive direction, another one negative direction. When we talk about path length, we didn't know anything about the object motion. Now what happens is, path length is that, right? So now I will tell you, this person can move here and will come back here. That is from O to E and from E to A. So what is the path length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 meters is the path length. Now my question is, I will tell you path length which is equal to 3 meters. Now you have to tell me the position of the person, where it is, whether it is A, B, C. Now what you are going to tell me? You will say that it is C, 1, 2, 3. But one more person will tell that 1, 2, 3 at A. And someone say that 1, 2, 3 F, because there is no direction. Someone will say that 1, 2, 3 GH. Now path length is 3 meter means the position of the object may be anywhere. You can't predict. That is the demerit of the path length. Now we are going to study about motion of the object. No. Now by knowing the path length you can't find out the position of the object means path length have no use much. So that's why we will bring the quantity called displacement. And mathematically we will define it in a more beautiful way, that displacement. And we will say that it is the shortest distance from one point to another point, and we will say it is the final minus initial position. Okay, final minus initial position. Now what it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Now I am going to tell that, okay, displacement final minus initial. The displacement is final minus initial. How to find out that displacement is final minus initial? So say displacement, object moved here, it is 1 minus 0 is 1 meter. Object moved here, 1, 2, 3. 3 minus 0 is 3 meter. No. Displacement means. Here it has moved means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Minus 3 of minus 1. Isn't it? 1, 2, 3. So minus 3 of minus 0, which is equal to minus 3. So plus 3 and minus 3. Minus 3 means it has gone to the left side. Plus 3 means it has gone to the right side, or whatever. Don't think that, oh, minus 3 means it is left side, minus plus 3. No, it is not like that. In one side we are going to take it as positive, one side we are going to take it as negative. Okay, like that it is. So from there, if you have beautifully, we are going to define in such a way that whatever may be the value I give to the displacement, you can find out the exact position of the object now. Now I will take displacement which is equal to 3 meters plus 3 meters, meaning is 1, 2, 3, and nowhere it is possible, no. It is possible, say 1, 2, 3, you will say final point is 2, initial point is 0, 2 minus 0 is 2. It is not possible. Okay, don't put your head like that. It is not possible. That's why displacement gives you the accurate value of accurate position wherever it is. That's why displacement is more dominant than that of the path length. That's why displacement is more dominant than that of the path length. And displacement is having its direction, but path length is having no direction. So displacement is a vector quantity, path length is a scalar quantity. These are all points I am not going to write down. This you have to remember. Okay, by writing no use, that whatever, or sometimes whatever I say you have to write down that. It's not that everything I am going to write down here and write down I will say. No, it is not like that. Concept understand, okay, clearly put it in your head, so that questions will be easily, you can deal with that. Now for those who are at the first, you are going to look at these videos, like maybe those who are in first years, maybe it is very easier because already all those things you have discussed in your syllabus. No, same thing, little bit advanced, whatever it is there, that we are going to discuss. And those are there second years, though also for them also easily you can make out. But the thing is that which point you have to write down, which point don't write, there is nothing like that. Whichever seems, I will say, if you are going to write down means, I said path length is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. No, and displacement is nothing but final minus initial position, and it is, okay, the shortest distance between the 2 points, okay, like that. So this is what we have studied, okay, that is why a displacement came. Now again we are going to write down about the units. Whenever the quantity comes, you have to write down about the units of that, SI unit of that. What is the SI unit? Meter. What is the SI unit? Meter. Dimensions you have to write down, that we will deal little later, because only one quantity, no? Okay. Now based on this, so object is, see, that person from year to year it comes, he will come here. Now here he will take 2 seconds to come the same distance, here will take 3 seconds, here will take 5 seconds, and here he will take 20 seconds with the same distance, no? Now path length, displacement, you know, by knowing path length and displacement, can you tell that first distance he has travelled in what time, second distance he will travel in what time? Here it is 2 seconds means quickly, 3 seconds means 3 seconds he has taken, 5 seconds means again slow, and 20 seconds means again very slow. It is like you are going from home to somewhere, the place which is you are not willing to go, right? As you are near to that place, you really not willing to go, but still slowly, fast will come, slowly, like that, no? Means velocity means velocity. That's why after path length we got a term, that is physical quantity, that is nothing but speed. So average speed. So average speed means the distance by time, or the path length divided by the time, total interval. It is the ratio of the path length. Don't need to write down that definition and all. Those who are preparing for the CET NEET, you prepare a separate notebook for this, okay, and write down the formulations, that's all enough. And all the question you have to keep it, whatever the question paper you are going to solve, you have to keep it in that notebook, and question paper 1, question paper 2, question paper 3, like that you have to write down, and for all the question solution you have to write down. At the last question paper 1, one question is there, you are not finding the answer means you search and write down. Systematic study now itself you start. Where there is a systematic study is there, you are going to achieve your goals. Simple. But that order systematic study is very much necessary. Now what we were studying here? We were studying about average speed, right? And so that is like this. Next, based on displacement we got average velocity, that is displacement divided by time, means it is x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Here it is also same, y2 minus y you can put, but average speed is always positive. As like path length, average speed is always positive, but displacement may be positive, negative or 0. No, this person goes somewhere and come back to the initial point means, what is that displacement? Displacement is 0, there is no velocity. Now this is positive, average speed, okay, this is not at all going to become 0. If object is moving means path length is not at all going to become 0, whereas displacement is maybe positive, negative or 0. Similarly, average speed is also maybe positive, negative or 0. There are cases velocity is going to become 0, and velocity changes only when object is going to change its direction. Velocity changes only when object is going to change its direction. Okay. Now let me write some of the questions so that you can make out and find out what is the displacements and path lengths. Okay. Now suppose I will give you a graph like this. Sorry, not graph. Sorry. This is the point A. Okay. This is the path. B. This is O. This is about the circle. Okay. Now object has gone in this path. Object has gone in this path from A to B. What is the path length and what is the displacement? You have to find out. What is the path length? Path length is nothing but total distance. It is the half circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r by 2. So that is pi r. That is path length. Got? Okay, that is total 2 pi r. Half of that is total distance. Okay, now displacement is nothing but shortest distance, that is nothing but 2r. Displacement is nothing but the shortest distance, that is 2r. Very, very important. Now suppose you are here, you are going to throw a stone to the certain height h and it come back to that point. What is the displacement and what is the path length? It come back here, that is displacement is equal to 0, x2 minus x1, because final minus initial. And what is the path length? What is the path length? This is h, this is h, this is 2h. That is the path length. Now suppose again you are in a building. You are on a building of certain height h. Now this person is here. Okay, so you are going to throw it, and this height to the certain height h is going, x is going to throw it. Now what is the distance and what is the path length? Object is here now, A to B. Path length is how much? X, x, h, 2x plus h. What is displacement? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, x, this is h, this much is x. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like that. No, at the place of 5, h is there, at the place of 15, x is there, at the place of 0, 0 is there. Now what is displacement? Initial was h, final was 0. So what is displacement? H minus 0, which is equal to h. So that is displacement. These are the simple questions I have given to find out the displacement and distances. Okay. So like that they will ask the questions. Not only these are simple, but some of the things. One more question I will tell you. Okay. An athlete completes one round of a circle track of radius r in 40 seconds. I'll erase this. The person who is going to, athlete is completes one circle in 40 seconds. Okay. Now what is the displacement? Okay, in 20 minutes and 20 seconds. What is the displacement in 20 minutes and 20 seconds? So 40 seconds means one round. 80, no? 120, 160, 200, 240, like that, no? Okay, but 20 minutes, after 20 minutes and 20 seconds, where you will be? So 20 means 120 seconds, right? Plus 20 means 20, which is equal to 140 seconds. So 40 seconds one round. So 140 seconds, how much round? That is 140 divided by 40, which is equal to isn't it? That is 3.5 rounds. So 1 round, 2 round, 3.5 round means after 2 minutes 20 seconds the person will be here. So what is the displacement? Displacement is 2r. What is the path length? Path length is 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. 3 time that of the 2 pi r plus half times of that of the 2 pi r, isn't it? 3.5 or 3.5 times, that is 3.5 times 2 pi r. Like that you have to calculate, no? So that is what displacement and path length and all. So let us this. So this is about path length and displacement. Now we also get to know about how it is, what is average velocity and all. So we have to go through the detailed formulation of velocity and other things. Okay. So what do you mean by velocity now? Average velocity and average speed, right? So based on that we are going to write down. So average speed and average velocity. So average speed is equal to, that is total distance, s1 plus s2 plus dot sn divided by total time t1 plus t2 plus dot tn. Like that it is. This is what the formula is. Now say the person is here. Okay. So this is point A, point B, point C, point D. This is distance S1, this is S2, this is S3, this is S4. S1, S2, S3, 4 means this is not 1, 1, 1, 1 remaining. Okay, or don't have judgment like that. This is maybe 1 meter, this is maybe 2 meter because S2 it is. I didn't write yes. Different. Now this person is moving this distance with velocity V1. This person covering this distance with velocity V2, velocity V3 or speed V1, V2, V3. Now what is the average speed? Average speed formula is this. Now I will give you a scenario in such a way that there are two distances, that is point A, point B, point C. Both are S itself. But what this person is doing, the first distance is going to cover with V1, second distance is cover with the speed of V2. Now what you are going to do? One is going to cover with V1, another one is going to cover with V2. Okay. So simple. I have to apply average speed means S plus S, S1 is S, S2. But T is not given there, right? Now what do you mean by average speed? Average speed, why this we have written VV itself for speed, why we are not going to write down S? Don't confuse with S and V, because we are writing speed also, velocity also with V, remember, and S is the displacement, distance. Okay, so this is the distances. Now V means displacement by time. The first distance means first distance with the time, so T1. So T1 becomes is equal to S divided by V1. No. So now what I can write down? T1 is nothing but S divided by V1 plus T2 is nothing but, again I can make out this is nothing but, I don't know the time. If it is T2 means S divided by V2. So I am going to substitute here, that is S divided by V2. S is common term, that becomes 2S divided by S into 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. No. SS cancels, which is equal to 2. SS going to cancel. So what you are going to get? 2 divided by here, the common denominator you are going to do means V1, V2 divided by V1 plus V2. Now what you are going to get the answer? Reciprocal of that, average speed is nothing but 2V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. In that way, this is what you are going to get. right? This is the case. So this is the formula. When you have to this formula, okay, direct you have to use. Average speed they are going to ask, but when you have to use, when equal distances travel with different velocity, when equal distances travel with different speed. Now different distances travel with the, now we are not talking about time, we are not talking about time, different distances travel with the same different velocities, no? Okay, different distances travel with the, okay, next one is, sorry, the distances you don't know, but first one is traveled with the T1, second one is traveled with C2. The first condition what was that? The same distances traveled with V1 and V2, but now here it is with the same time, some distances you know or don't know, but with the different velocities. How you can write down here that thing? S is not given, but velocity is equal to displacement by time, and S is equal to velocity into time. Now if you are going to write down here means S1 is equal to V1 into T1, but T1 is nothing but T, plus S2 is equal to V2 into T divided by total time T plus T, which is equal to T into V1 plus V2 divided by 2T. T cancel, which is equal to V1 plus V2 divided by 2. No? This is V average speed, like that it is. This is what about average speed, and this is the formula for this. So this you have to remember, average speed formula, okay. Now there is a problem, okay, we have to find out the average speed. That is, average speed is nothing but how much? Which is equal to S1 plus S2 divided by T1 plus T2 and so on. Now it is given that 6 meters are travelled with velocity V and 8 meters are travelled with velocity 2V. Now first distance is how much? 6, and the second distance is 8. T1, whether time is given? T1, it is not given. How to write down time? We know that V is equal to displacement by time. Time is equal to displacement by velocity. Time is equal to displacement by velocity. Now it is T1 I can write down. T1 I can write down displacement 6 by V. T2 I can write down 8 divided by 2V. Okay. So T1 means 6 divided by V plus T2 means 8 divided by 2V. So 14 divided by 1 by V is common term. So 6 plus, isn't it? 6 plus how much? 4. So which is nothing but 10. Okay. So you are going to get as V goes to 14V divided by 10 you are going to get. No? Or else 10 by V. So which is equal to 1.4 into V. That is average speed. 1.4 times that of the V. So like these problems they are going to ask. This is directly I have written the diagram, but this you are supposed to write down by looking at the question. Looking at the question you have to write down in that way. Okay. So this is kind of the problem they are going to ask in average speed and average velocity. So this is about average speed and average velocity. Thank you very much for listening to this class. Once again we are going to talk about other topics and we are going to continue it in our next videos. Now you can see a problem, a formula, a diagram. So what it says is that A to B distance is with the velocity V, B to C distance with the velocity 2V, and C to A distance with velocity speed 3V, not velocity. Now you are supposed to find out the average speed. So what you have to do, S1 plus S2 plus S3 divided by T1 plus T2 plus T3. Now different velocities, different distances. At the first we will write down S1. So see, formula we have to know, that is nothing but circumference. L is equal to r theta, no, here it is S is equal to r theta, this much, r into theta. But here S1 is how much? S1 I am going to write down here. R is nothing but, let it be r, theta is nothing but pi by 2. 90 degree means how much? Pi by 2. So 120 degree means how much? 120 degree means 2 by 3 pi, or 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3. So this is 120 and this is 90. Remaining is how much? That is 230 and that is 5 pi by 6. 230 means 5 pi by 6. So S1 is this much, S2 which is equal to r into theta. Theta means how much? That angle, this. 120 means how much? That is 2 pi by 3. In terms of radians only you have to write down. Then S3 is equal to r into 5 pi by 6. 5 pi by 6, like this, isn't it? This is the case. Now next, what you are going to do? S1, S2, S3 we are going to substitute here. S1 is r into pi by 2 plus r into 2 pi by 3 plus r into 5 pi by 6 divided by T1 you don't know, T2 you don't know, T3 you don't know. How you are going to write down? You know that displacement or speed is equal to distance by time. Time is equal to distance by velocity. So distance is how much? R into pi by 2 into V. No, divided by 2V. Isn't it? So T1 means how much, which is equal to x. X is nothing but how much? R into pi divided by 2 divided by V means this much. T2 is how much? T2 is how much? That is R into 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 divided by V is nothing but 3V. Now T3 is how much? Which is equal to 5 pi r divided by, okay, now it is not V, that is 2V, so it is 2V, 6V, here it is 3V, V, 2V, 3V means it is 18V, no, 18V, so all the T's you have to substitute here. So if I do this problem means you will get all the ideas how you have to substitute and all, okay. So T2 means 2 pi r divided by 6V, then plus 5 pi r divided by how much? 18V. How to substitute this? R pi is common term there, no? R into pi is a common term. Remaining is 1 by 2 plus 2 by 3 plus 5 by 6. Here is also R pi is common term, no? And divided by V is common term. So you are going to get R pi V is 1 by 2 plus 2 by 6 plus 5 by 18. R pi cancels, no, 1 by V goes to numerator. So here it is 6 is the common denominator, means it is 5 plus 3 plus 3, isn't it? 5 plus 11. So into 11 we divided by 16 whole divided by, here it is 18 is the common denominator. So that is nothing but 6 plus 5 plus, so it is 9. So 6 and 5, that is 11 and 20. So it is 11 we divided by 6 into 20 divided, 20 divided by 18, which is equal to 6 ones. So 11 by 20 into V, like this. Okay, this is the lengthiest one, but this kind of problem won't, this kind of length you are not going to get, but every calculation is involved in this. That's why I did this. Okay, so this is what the problem. So now later we are going to talk about the numericals, MCQs related to motion in a straight line. Before that there are some topics. So we are going to complete that. All the synopsis part we are going to complete. What are the formulations are in there in this chapter, that we are going to complete. Okay. So this is about motion in a straight line. We have discussed about displacement, path length, average speed, average velocity, that's much, and one of the problem in that. So remaining topic we are going to talk in the next classes. Dear students, we were talking about the concepts of competitive examinations, right? And we were talking about the first year topic, that is nothing but motion in a straight line. Okay. So in this topic we have already discussed that about the average speed, the average velocity, the displacement and the path length. Okay, so how the average speed questions they are going to ask, what actually the average velocity is, all those things discussed. Now we will come across a term called dimensional formula and SI units. So SI units no problem, for most of the things you will know, but like complicated some physical quantities, all that SI units you should know. Okay. So it is the easiest one, that is nothing but velocity. But what is dimensional formula? Dimensional formula is nothing but say everything which is written in this, that is nothing, what is that? Mass, length, time, current, temperature, and two against this one is there, luminous intensity, that is candela, and amount of substance. In terms of this basic fundamental quantities, you are going to write down the given unit, given quantity, right? Now most of the cases, your temperature K is written because Kelvin. Okay, so most of the time this is useful for us in your syllabus. The first PUC and the second PUC syllabus is concerned, most of that for physics, M, L, T, ampere, and last it is temperature is necessary. Most of the time we are not going to use this. Okay, means you don't have such quantities. Okay, maybe there are in the chemistry, but we are going to deal with the dimensional formula, so we will get only these things. Okay, in terms of that we have to write down the dimensional formula. Now what is dimensional? See, this is velocity is the derived physical quantity, it is not fundamental physical quantity, which is depends on displacement and time, right? So displacement means it is nothing but kind of length itself, no? Okay, so time is nothing but t, so you are going to write down LT minus 1, t goes to the numerator, m is 0. So this is the dimensional formula for velocity. So average speed and average velocity has got same dimensional formula. Now different physical quantities you are going to ask, they are going to ask you to write down the dimensional formula and all, especially the quantities which you are going to study in second year, okay, as well as quantities in the first year, the gravitation chapter, or maybe in thermal properties of matter, okay, or maybe in wave. So in that quantities, okay, little bit little bit complicated one, okay, a little bit extended. I think more quantities it is depends that physical quantity. For that they are going to ask you the dimension formula. So as we discuss all the quantities, we are going to talk about dimension formula. Okay, so now we are going to talk about average speed, average velocity, all those things we know. Now we will talk about some graphs. Okay, so graphs are very much necessary for us to understand the motion of the object. We were talking about only one dimensional motion. How many directions are possible in one dimensional motion? There are two directions are possible. One is positive, another one is negative. Now graph I am going to put, that is nothing but one we are going to call it is xt graph. That is nothing but position along y axis and time along x axis. Okay. Now what is the meaning of that, of observing the motion of the object? How to graph you have to write down. Say for example this point. Okay. This is the point. Now you are going to observe any object from where, when it reaches to this point. After that you are going to observe. You are going to observe means what? You are going to start the time with respect to that you are going to observe. Why it is time? See, motion is nothing but change in the position of the object with respect to time, and motion is nothing but change in the position of the object with respect to the surrounding. Why it is time? Because time is an invariable quantity. It is independent variable, I can say, means it is does not depend on any of the thing. That's why that physical quantity time which just runs, it does not depends on any of things. You study or not, you have food or not, right? Time is runs. That's why time is independent on anyone. That's why time and constantly varying. That's why that is only one thing that in order properly it is varying and constantly it is varying. There is no nothing like reverse in the time. That's why that we are going to observe, and with respect to that we are going to tell the motion of the object, especially with respect to time. Now say for example one car is moving, you are going to observe the motion of the object means when it reaches here. So it is started, when it reaches here you are going to start. See, it was reaches here means it is having some velocity. Starting means it is zero velocity. When reaches here means some velocity is having, and after that is reaches here, which increasing velocity. So zero velocity, say for example 30 km per hour, say for example 80 km per hour, like that. Means you say it is taken 20 seconds. It is taken 20 seconds. Now this is the data. Initial velocity 30 km per hour, final velocity 80 km per hour, in the time 20 seconds. So what is the distance traveled and what is the acceleration, because change in velocity is and that you can make out. But if suppose this is not the initial point, this was the initial point, 0 km per hour, and when car start, then only I have started the time to observe that. Means t is equal to 0. When t is equal to 0, what is the displacement? That is called initial displacement. Initial displacement will be not there, only initial velocity will be there. Initial point you can say. Okay. So when time t is equal to 0, what velocity is there? That is initial velocity. You can say position. Okay, you can say position. If time t is equal to 0, which position is that? That is the in which position that object is there. That is what the initial position is. Now x and t means this is the position with respect to origin. Means with respect to origin means one constant point we are going to take. Now suppose in your town one building is there, that is a constant point. Okay, if you have gone to the right side of the town and left side of the town, like that it is, that is the 0th position. Similarly, so that is one. So mathematically coordinate system you are going to take, xy coordinate system you are going to take. So 0 you are going to write down and you are going to write down. So now this is the graph means t. As time increases, position is increases. No, like that. Same way, position is increases. That is called uniform motion. That is called uniform motion. Why it is uniform? Because wherever you take the slope, you will get same. What is slope? Slope means actually y divided by x in mathematics. But what we have taken in physics, in the place of y, position we have taken. In the place of y, x, it is not x, in the point of y we have taken position, okay. In the point of x we have taken time. So in the point of y we have taken position. In the point of x we have taken time. So what do you mean by x by t? Displacement by t is nothing but velocity, right? And every time slope you are going to find out means you are getting the velocity, and which is constant for this kind of graph. So slope of xt graph gives you the velocity. Okay, slope of the xt graph gives the velocity. Another one term is there, that is nothing but area under xt curve. The area under xt curve gives you, okay, the displacement. Now they will give you for the competitive exams some certain graphs they are going to give you, and certain data they are going to give you. You have to find out the velocity, you have to find out the displacement, and you have to find out the acceleration. For that what you have to do? You have to find out some slope, you have to find out some displacement, like that. So this is xt graph, that is for uniform motion. Now I am going to write down the graph is like this: 0, t, x, this is x, in this way. Now what this graph is represents, and that graph represents the object which is at rest, isn't it? The object which is at rest, the graph which tells you that object which is at rest, isn't it? This is what, okay. Now say suppose it is not started at 0 position, means here some displacement is there, some velocity is there. It is not started at 0th position, okay. So this is what, again it is uniform motion, but object is moving in a, like what, having some certain initial velocity, you can say initial, not initial velocity, it may be started with 0, its some position is not the origin, or position is not the reference point, it is after some reference point it is started, like this it is, okay. So this is the case. Now suppose for different objects different cases are there, okay. These are nothing but position time graphs, nothing much is there in the position time graph. By looking at the position time graph, but looking at the questions, you can make out different. Now there is no use that all the nothing graphs are there, only this much, okay, in the position time graph. But again if I write down goes on all the cases, means it will be useless, because when the question comes, that we must know how to answer that, how to interpret that. That's why more and more questions we have to solve. Those who are in first years, okay, just you are completed, you are going to just this chapter you are completed and you are watching this video, means just clearly go through it. It will be going into like revise or extra formula we are going to say. And those who are in the second years, those who are watching in these videos are, so they have, I don't know, you have forgot, you are remembering, or you are recalling all those things. But the thing is you have to recall this, okay, and you have to constantly study, because equal importance will be there for all the topics, okay. Study clearly. So this is what, okay. Next, what is velocity time graph? Now velocity time graph we are going to write down same way, but velocity along y axis, time along x axis, velocity along y axis, time along x axis. Now again slope means what? Y by x. At the place of y what is there? Velocity is there. At the place of x what is there? Time is there. So what do you mean by time? That is velocity by time, that is acceleration. So what we can say, the slope of the velocity time graph gives you acceleration. Now what is this? It is object at constant uniform motion, means constant velocity. For the same way, what is position time graph? Position time graph is this. Position is varies equally 1 meter per second, again 1 meter per second, again 1 meter per second, again 1 meter per second. So 1 meter per second, 1 meter per second, 1 meter per second. So 1 meter per second is the velocity, no? So 1 meter per second, like that, uniform. So object is at rest means, position time graph is this way, but here velocity time graph, velocity is 0, no? So position time, velocity time graph must be on the x-axis or time axis. Object is at rest means. Now object is having some initial velocity and it is accelerating means in this way you can write down. So velocity is changing, or with increasing velocity object is moving, or acceleration is constant means in this way, because everywhere you find out the slope you will get acceleration same. Okay, that is the thing. Acceleration you are going to get it as same. That is the case. Now, so this is what the things are. Okay, here it is some initial velocity is there, velocity time graph. Some initial velocity is there, velocity time graph. That is the thing. So this is what about the graphs. Okay, or else you may get like this also, no? Velocity and time. There is nothing but increasing acceleration, change in acceleration. Everywhere acceleration is not same. It is not acceleration same, it is different. How to find out the acceleration for such curved graphs? Sorry, slope. Slope is acceleration, right? So how to find out? You have to find out is by drawing the tangent. Okay. Now the question is, in the competitive exam you have to draw the tangent? No, it is not like that. They will give such graphs. You are not supposed to write down tangent and all. You have to find out. You will get the concepts. So 4 types of graphs are given. They will ask which is uniform velocity, which is increasing velocity, or like that and all. Okay, such things they are going to ask. So such we must be knowing. Okay.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.